Okay, we've all seen this crypto horror story play out. A project's token is absolutely crashing, and then the team starts selling too. It looks like complete self sabotage. But what if it's not greed? What if it's actually a desperate last ditch act of survival? Right? Just picture it. A token's price is in a total nosedive. You'd think the team would be doing everything in their power to stop the bleeding. But instead, you see them dumping their own tokens on the market, pushing the price down even faster. It makes absolutely no sense. Or does it? And what's the immediate reaction from the community? Oh, you know it. It's pure outrage. The chat rooms just explode with accusations. It's greed. It's malice. It's a classic rug pull. And look, to be fair, sometimes that's exactly what it is. But what if it's not a scam this time? What if this act, which looks completely self-destructive, is actually a desperate but totally logical move? That's the paradox we're going to dive into today. So first, let's do a super quick Econ 101 refresher. The basic rules of the game are simple, right? Producers, or suppliers, want to sell more of their stuff when the price is high to make more profit, and they sell less when the price is low. The behavior we're talking about just completely shatters this fundamental law of supply. So what's the deal? Well, this brings us to a really specific and kind of terrifying economic situation. It's a trap where the normal rules of economics just get thrown right out the window. This is what we call the cornered supplier. The key thing to understand here is the motivation. A cornered supplier isn't playing the game to maximize their profit, not at all. They are driven by one single thing, an urgent, absolutely non-negotiable need for cold, hard cash. This isn't about getting rich. It's literally about surviving to see tomorrow. And you know, this isn't just some abstract theory cooked up for crypto. This dynamic plays out all the time in the real world, and those examples give us a perfect lens to understand exactly what's happening here. For instance, imagine a country at war, and its whole economy depends on selling oil. Now, what happens if the price of oil crashes? Basic economics says they should pump less and wait for a better price. But they can't. Their need for cash to fund the war is absolute. It is existential. So they do the exact opposite. They pump and sell even more oil at horrible prices just to hit that critical revenue number they need to survive. Okay, so how does this idea translate over to the world of crypto? How does a DeFi protocol or a new Layer 1 blockchain find itself backed into that same desperate corner? This is the death spiral. It happens when a project holds most of its treasury in its own native token. The market turns, the price crashes, but the bills, developer salaries, server hosting, they're still due, and they're due in dollars or stablecoins. So their only option is to sell their own token for cash. Of course, that tanks the price even more, which means the next time bills are due, they have to sell even more tokens. Vicious cycle. And this is especially brutal for the newer projects. You know, they have legal fees, they have commitments to market makers, exchange listing fees. All of that has to be paid in fiat. So if their treasury is all locked up in their own token that just dumped 90%, they are forced to become a constant source of sell pressure, month after month, just to keep the lights on. So here's the thing. Understanding the cornered supplier isn't just an interesting economic theory. It's actually a super powerful tool that can completely change how you analyze the market. It gives you a whole new level of clarity. Instead of just reacting with emotion and yelling scam, you can now start asking much smarter questions. Is this team just malicious, or are they cornered? Based on their situation, should I expect even more sell pressure in the future? And probably the most important question of all, how healthy is their treasury, really? And that really brings us to the core difference, the night and day comparison. On one side, you've got a safe project with years of operating costs already covered in stablecoins like USDC. And on the other side, you've got a ticking time bomb, a future cornered supplier just waiting for the next market downturn to hit. This is what we call being rationally destructive. See, the team isn't choosing a bad option over a good one. No. They're choosing the disastrous option, crashing their own token to survive another quarter over the catastrophic one, running out of cash and shutting the whole project down for good right now. And ultimately, this is the perfect analogy. They are trapped against the ropes, they're bleeding value, and that clock is ticking down. They are not swinging to win the fight. They are swinging wildly, desperately, just to survive the round, hoping against hope for a miracle bell that might never come. So I'll just leave you with this thought. This lens, it doesn't excuse failure, but it sure does help explain it. The next time you see a team dumping their tokens into a falling market, ask yourself, am I looking at greed, or am I looking at the desperate logic of a cornered supplier who's just trying to survive?